or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of new sets that have gone and been revealed over in Japan. Here's the thing, though. It's just as confusing as it always is. Lots of questions, some answers. Let's take a bit of a gander, shall we? Now, starting off, we have had news and information about Sun and Moon 12. Don't worry, as I always do in these videos, I will run through the entire slate of upcoming Japanese sets at the end to put a bit of context into it. So then, it's called Alter Genesis, and I should give a shout out to Primal Lugia and Cerebi.net for sharing this lovely information. It's called Alter Genesis. It is coming out on the 6th of September, and it is going to feature 95 cards plus question mark. Cool. I mean, look, it's a main set. In Japan, they're in this cycle at the moment, main set 1 month, and then 2 months of mini sets, and then another main set. And generally speaking, the main sets are around about 95. I mean, if we have a look at Sun and Moon 11, which was Miracle Twin, it's going to be the basis of our unified minds over here, we can see 94 cards plus question mark. So that makes quite a lot of sense. What do we know about it? Well, honestly, other than the name, the release date, and the number of cards, there's nothing else that has been officially revealed. What we can see is dummy artwork. Now, look, we're going to have a bit of a chat about Dreamleague in a moment, but Dreamleague looks kind of like dummy artwork, but it's not really dummy artwork that's been designed. This is proper job dummy artwork. What they've done is taken the standard Ken Sugimori artwork of Lunala and Solgaleo, Dialga and Palkia, and they have chucked it onto a background. This is dummy artwork at its finest. So what does it tell us about the set? I mean, I think it's fairly clear that we are getting Solgaleo and Lunala Tag Team GX, and Dialga and Palkia Tag Team GX. Now this is a little bit weird, because of course we've seen legendary Pokemon on Tag Team GX cards, but they're not together. So there's no Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX, we see Reshiram and Charizard Tag Team GX, and we see Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX, but we don't get both of them on a single card. That would be weird. Except we did just get Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX, so maybe it's not as weird as it could be. Of course, there is an alternate plan here, and the alternate plan is, well, there's going to be Dialga and something Tag Team GX, Palkia and something Tag Team GX, Solgaleo and something Tag Team GX, and Lunala and something Tag Team GX. And we do have appropriate shared typings here. Dialga and Palkia are both part Dragon type, Solgaleo and Lunala are both part Psychic type. So it would work. It would be weird having two big legendaries on one card. Even Mewtwo and Mew, you've got Mewtwo who's a big legendary and Mew who's kind of like a little baby legendary. So it's a bit weird to me, if I'm honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, but hey ho, that's what seems to be happening. And yes, I know Mew is a mythical, not a legendary, come on. The rest of them are legendaries, it was just easier. Anyway, so that's about what we know from Alter Genesis at the moment. We will have to wait and see for all the other information, but just remember the Tag Team GXs end up on the artwork. Miracle Twin, oh yeah, it was Mewtwo and Mew. And if we have a quick look at the dummy artwork from GG The End, we see that we've got Garchomp and Giratina. And of course, oh look, they ended up as one of the Tag Team GXs in the set. This shouldn't particularly surprise anyone at this stage. That's kind of how Pokemon roll. So we do, however, have another set that we need to be having a little bit of a look at. It is, well, we assume Sun and Moon 12A, and it's the very snappily titled High Class Pack 2019. Here's the thing though, this is a mini set in that it's coming out after a main set, and it's coming out on the 4th of October, and it has 173 cards plus question mark. That's obscene, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely obscene. That's way too many cards. This is not your regular mini set. I mean, goodness, Sun and Moon 11A is going to be Remix Bout, and that's got 64 cards plus question mark. And Sun and Moon 11B is going to be Dreamleague, which has 49 cards plus question mark. So 11A as 173 cards plus question mark does not make any real sense. It's going to be a reprint set. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but come on, it's going to be a reprint set. There's no way a set gets to that number, especially the month after a main set, because Japan does monthly releases, unless it's a reprint set. And we see these. The black and white era ended with Legendary Treasures, which gave us reprints of cards like Terrakion, for instance. And we saw the Heart Gold Soul Silver era ended with Call of Legends, which gave us reprints like Cleffa, for instance. I'm not going to go through them all. The point is, at the end of a block like Sun and Moon, for instance, we tend to have a reprint set. And maybe there is some other thing going on here, but no, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a reprint set. And it's a bit of a weird one, because the problem with doing reprint sets at the end of a block is you generally don't get that long before you rotate out. And that's kind of annoying, because you end up with a whole bunch of cards that you just can't use. There's nothing we can really do about this, and I know some people really dislike reprint sets for that exact reason, but then again, if you're just a player, think about it as, well, reprint sets don't tend to give you too much new, so you don't need to buy many of the cards. You can maybe just buy a couple of singles in your set. The interesting thing here is, does that mean that Sun and Moon 12A, which is coming out in October, will be the end of the Sun and Moon block? Does that mean November won't have a set in Japan? Or does that mean that November in Japan will be Sword and Shield 1, starting a brand new block? Now, I am expecting the release of Sword and Shield in November. We're having a Pokemon Direct happening on Wednesday, that's 2 days from now, where it is extremely likely, not guaranteed, but I would say extremely likely, that we will get the official release date for Sword and Shield. But remember that the cards come out in Japan before they come out over here, so it might well be that Sword and Shield will be starting in November. Maybe they'll have a couple of one-off products to tide us over. Certainly, they often have products where you just get the free first partner Pokemon as shiny cards, and that's basically all you get just in a little set. And we don't know what's going to happen. But what makes me really excited here is that this is presumably the end of the Sun and Moon block, given that this has to be a reprint set, and that ends blocks. And I'm not excited about the end of the Sun and Moon block. Sun and Moon's probably my favourite Pokemon game since Gen 1. But I'm excited about the start of the Sword and Shield block. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. So just as a quick reminder then, in terms of a timeline, in Japan they have just released Miracle Twin, just on May the 31st. I've done almost every card as an analysis on this channel. There'll be one or two over the next couple of days. We've pretty much finished with that one. And that is going to be part of Unified Mind, which is our August set. And then Japan are getting Remix Bout, 11A on July the 5th. Dreamleague, 11B on August the 2nd. And those two will combine with Alter Genesis to make our Sun and Moon 12 set, which is going to be our November set. Which means the earliest we could possibly start Sword and Shield cards, as in a proper set, not the odd promo here or there, would be in February. But there's every possibility that our February set ends up as largely a reprint set, and it is May before we end up properly with Sword and Shield. As always, when we get some confirmation, I will be making a video as soon as I can possibly get to my computer to give you lovely ladies and gentlemen all the information that you need. For now, I'd like to know what you think about these sets. I'd like to know how excited you are, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice, and then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about games that don't even have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.